Nice. We got a sizable PR package from Rare Beauty, and I am excited, actually. Hey you, what up? Maryam here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing, revealing, swatching, testing out, applying to my face, and giving a first impression of the new Rare Beauty Stay Vulnerable collection. Now, this collection comes in a big old PR package. How cute. Basically, this is a collection of blushes, lippies, and also liquid eyeshadows in 5 different color families. All of this sounds very enticing and exciting to me. Of course, I'm gonna get Team Truth on it and give you the verdict at the end. And that's about everything that I want to say in this intro. So with that said, remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can see all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos. And now let's get to it. Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty Stay Vulnerable collection. Are we here for it or not? Let's find out. So when you open up the PR package, here we have this lovely booklet with Selena on it, and basically all the details about this collection. We have the Stay Vulnerable Melting Blush, 5 shades, $21 each. These are supposed to be non-greasy, won't clog pores, melt on contact, weightless, flush of color type of blush. Breakthrough, mistake-proof formula that lasts all day, natural finish with a soft blurring effect. Love that. Next up, we have the Stay Vulnerable Liquid Eyeshadow at $20 each, available in 5 shades. Weightless, liquid to powder formula, long-lasting, waterproof, crease-resistant, blends easily to a soft satin finish. We also have a Stay Vulnerable Glossy Lip Balm, again 5 shades, $18 each. Cushions like a balm, shines like a gloss, hydrates with a hint of color and shine for plump, healthy looking lips. Weightless, nourishing, never sticky. Last but not least, we have a $15 eyeshadow brush. Kind of a nice dense little brush. Kind of similar to the Rare Beauty concealer brush, but just a smaller eyeshadow version of that. Angle shape mimics your fingertip for max control, effortless blending, especially great for liquids and creams. Vegan and cruelty free. I like this brush. Just off the bat, I can tell I'm gonna like this one. All right, so now the reason why we have 5 of everything is because there are actually 5 different color families for each of the glosses, the liquid eyeshadows, and the blushes, so you can create monochromatic looks with all the 3 items, or of course you can mix and match. Also, in this massive PR package, we have this really cute makeup storage bag. Great for storing brushes. Love that. Ooh, we also got a cute mirror here. Nice. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is attempt to swatch everything on myself, not on the swatch model just yet. I'm gonna swatch everything in their color family. So I'm gonna start with the Nearly Neutral color family, which looks like just a lovely nude. And in it we have the Nearly Neutral blush, Nearly Neutral eyeshadow, and Nearly Neutral lip gloss. At first impression, this feels like plastic, like you're rubbing your finger into plastic, but then very quickly it starts to melt into like a balmy cream. All right, so this is what the blush swatch looks and feels like. Velvety, moussey, I would say. Next up, we have the Nearly Neutral liquid eyeshadow. That feels like a liquid lipstick to me. Just like the texture and the color feels more like one of those non-transferable liquid lipsticks that were very popular, say, 2 years ago. All right, and here we have the Balm, again for the Nearly Neutral color family. I'm gonna do just a couple of swipes here. Sheer but visible, I kind of like it. All right, so here we have Nearly Neutral. Next up, we have Nearly Rose. All right, so here we go with the blush first. Ooh, that was really, really lovely. Just one swipe, really quite delicious actually. Eyeshadow will be next. You could easily mistake this finish for a liquid lipstick, but it's a little bit more on the creamy side than on the liquid side. So I like that for an eyeshadow. All right, next up we have the Nearly Rose Lip Balm. All right, after swatching these 2 color families, I'm noticing that they're not exactly monochromatic. Each of the shades from the blush, the eyeshadow, and the gloss are distinct shades within each color family. So although they go together, they also all go with each other. All right, next up we have Nearly Berry. Nearly Berry blush is gorgeous. I can see this one looking really nice on a deeper skin tone. Here we have the Nearly Berry eyeshadow / liquid lipstick formulation. And now the gloss. Pretty, but again, they're all distinct. Nearly Mauve is next. God, these blushes are so stunning. Nearly Mauve eyeshadow. Beautiful. Nearly Mauve Balm Gloss. And the final, last but not least, color family is the Nearly Apricot, which to me is the freshest, the prettiest color family, but that's just my preference. Here we have the Nearly Apricot blush. I was expecting more of a punch, but still lovely. Here we have the Nearly Apricot eyeshadow. Oh yeah. This is gorgeous. I love it. And the last final swatch is Nearly Apricot Gloss Balm. All right, and here we have the entire Stay Vulnerable collection swatched. Off the bat, I'm thinking that the Nearly Apricot category is definitely the one that draws me in the most. Just feels very easygoing, very fresh, something that I could wear all year round. All right, so before I ruin my clothes and stain everything, I'm going to remove these swatches. Looks like everything is removing quite easily with the exception of the liquid shadows that seem to be staining my skin just a little bit, which is not really a big deal. It also happens with liquid lipsticks at times too. And like I mentioned, the formula is so very similar to a liquid non-transferable type of lipstick. So I guess that's to be expected. Alrighty, so now I'm ready to create a look, apply these to my face, and test out how these actually apply to our skin. You ready? I'm actually gonna start with the Nearly Apricot eyeshadow. My lids are not primed, but I do have some one size translucent powder and just a little bit of concealer that seems to have gathered in my crease, which is not really great. But anyway, I'm gonna just bypass that. I'm gonna go one eye at a time. So I basically painted this eyeshadow directly into my crease. Now I'm gonna take this brush and I'm gonna quickly buff that out and just to see how it buffs. All right, that wasn't so bad. I think the color is quite punchy and quite lovely. Definitely very wearable, easy to blend out. You could have probably even done that with your fingers, but not bad. It was pretty effortless. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing here. I like that the applicator is a little bit precise, like it's kind of angled and comes to a point, so you can actually create a shape. Let's see what happens if I blend it out with my finger. You know, I think it becomes even easier because the finger is warm, so it gives you a chance to melt the eyeshadow as well, which helps to maneuver it a little bit easier. So I guess either way works. Not bad at all. Okay. Next up, I'm gonna grab this Nearly Neutral liquid eyeshadow and I'm going to try to create some dimension. So I'm gonna go right on top, add a little bit of this color kind of in a wing close to my lash line. I'm gonna see what happens if I try to do both eyes at the same time. I'm gonna use the same brush and just tap that out. It does set a little bit quicker with the brush because you're not actually melting the shadow, but you're packing it on and patting it in. But I think so far it worked exactly the way that I intended it to work. It definitely added a little bit of definition here in the corner. So far, so good. Really liking that. Okay, next, I'm gonna go for one more eyeshadow. I'm gonna grab the Nearly Rose, which was like a pale pinky type of shade, and I'm gonna add that right here to the inner portion of my lid, just for a little bit of brightening and just for a bit of a pop. Again, I'm using the same brush. I don't really find that the eyeshadows contaminate the brush too much. They do dry down fairly quickly, but then all the colors are also so similar and the color families are definitely meant to be working not just alone but together as well, so it doesn't really matter if you mix them up. I think I really do like how effortless this application is. There's really no bunching up the eyeshadows, there's no skipping, it's blending in together quite beautifully actually. So I can't complain. All right, for my lower lash line, I'm gonna use Nearly Mauve. I'm just gonna dot a little bit of that right here and a little bit of that right here. And I'm gonna use the edge of the brush to kind of very quickly buff that out. I thought that was lovely. All right, well, you know what? I might as well just use the last shadow, which is Nearly Berry. And with this shadow, I'm actually going to attempt to do something different. I hope I don't ruin this makeup, but just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna attempt to use this eyeshadow as a liner. So I'm gonna grab my Laura Lee Los Angeles L20 brush. I'm gonna pack some of this eyeshadow onto this tiny little brush, and I'm gonna add a little liner action. Oh, that was lovely. I knew I could get away with doing that. I think with this formulation, because it is meant to be blended out, a little bit definitely does go a long way. So I wouldn't necessarily pack it on. I would use just minimal amount and try to spread it out quickly if using it as liner. This definitely adds a lovely little touch. All right, let's see if I try to make it a little bit more opaque and what happens if I try to build it up. Honestly, not bad at all. This is a very forgiving formula. Add just a little bit of that to my inner corner, just like a hint. That's it. And I think my eyes are done. Looking really cute. Okay, next up, for blush, I'm really liking that Nearly Rose blush and of course the Nearly Apricot. But for this look, I could probably go for either. This might be just a little too punchy for what I'm going for. Maybe I will layer them to see how they layer. I just made my decision right there. I'm gonna pick up just a little bit of this Nearly Rose. Oh, the formula is just so juicy. I'm gonna add a bit of that on top of my cheek and kind of just blend it out. This is nothing like the Fenty Cream blush. This is a little bit more moussey and a little bit more velvety feeling. Kind of reminds me of all of those cool K-Beauty blushes, but I'm definitely a little bit hesitant to apply more than what I just did. So on my face, I'm already wearing the Rare Beauty foundation. I set that with my One Size translucent setting powder, and so far, although it looks good, there is just a little bit of cakiness right here that I can live with, but I don't know if I can live with any more than this. Ooh. Okay, let me try on this other side. It almost seems like there's a certain amount of taps that this blush can handle before it starts removing itself and sticking itself to your finger, and thus also removing your foundation. Less blending is probably key here, but you know what? I really like this Nearly Apricot, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of that and I'm gonna go for more. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of lifting of foundation happening right here that I'm not loving. I kind of ruined my makeup just a little bit. Ooh. And the more I tap, the more I kind of remove. So that's not really great. Okay, this is probably one of those blushes that will work best underneath foundation, but I'm gonna try it on this side and see if the same thing happens. I don't know, it's just a lot better on this side. Maybe because I had less foundation on this side. Here I do have a really huge breakout that I tried to conceal and color correct underneath my foundation. So this side just may have a thicker layer underneath, which is why it's not working as great as here. Ooh, yeah, you could see it's just creating a very unflattering overlapping situation here that I'm gonna need to fix, but it's not a deal breaker. I just feel like there's a learning curve with this particular blush. Moving right along, for my lips, we can go in this direction, or we can go in this direction, or we can go in a darker ooh, we can definitely go in a darker direction. That will do something. Kind of liking this darker vibe here with the Nearly Berry lip balm. Let's see what happens. This is definitely a unique product. It's reminding me of a stain, but it has a really nice plump sort of texture that feels very healing on the lips, that feels very nourishing, and I do like that. I did have my lips lined with my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk pencil, so the product clinged to the lip liner a little bit more than to the bare part of my lips. Keep that in mind. But it's definitely something that I would reach for again. It feels nice. All right, so then to complete my look, I'm just gonna curl my lashes, add mascara, and I don't know, try to do something with this situation on my cheek over here. For my mascara, I'm using my MIZON Collagen Curling Fix Mascara. As always, as of late, this has been the one that I've been reaching for the most. It's such a nice formula for shorter lashes like mine. All right, so to fix my cheek, what can I do to fix my cheek? I don't know if this is actually gonna fix the situation or if I'm gonna make the situation worse. I have this Essence My Skin Perfector primer. So what I was going to do, did I say primer? I meant powder. I'm gonna add a little bit of that powder on top of here just to kind of subdue it a little. Okay, that seemed to work somehow. All right, and then as a final touch, I'm gonna add this Rare Beauty highlighter, liquid luminizer. I'm gonna go for the shade Flaunt, which is kind of like a rose gold type of color. I'm gonna add it to the back of my hand because this is very pigmented. A little bit goes a long way, and I just need the smallest amount. So I'm gonna tap it on the back of my hand and just distract from this whole situation. Yeah, like that. It's not perfect, but it's the best I can do. Just sometimes these first impressions videos don't have the most flawless makeup because you're trying out the product for the first time and you're not really sure how exactly it works. But I can't say that I hate this makeup. I can't say that I hate all of these formulations. Yes, this cheek is definitely looking a bit hot messy, you know, but this side of the face is looking a lot better because this side was literally my second attempt. This was my first attempt, this was my second attempt, so the second attempt looks a lot better. Let me actually grab my phone, zoom in really closely into my skin and show you what this product looks like up close, what the blush looks like on my skin, eyeshadow looks like, the gloss looks like. I feel like it's definitely not bad for my second attempt. Now my first attempt over here, ooh, not as pretty. It's just a little bit of patchiness happening here with the layering of the blush and the powder and the foundation. But I'm gonna let it slide because, like I said, this was my very first attempt. I can't really say that I knew what I was doing. Here are my final thoughts, rather my first impression final thoughts on these new Rare Beauty products, specifically the Stay Vulnerable collection. I will say off the bat, I was very intrigued. All of these products reminding me of K-Beauty. Everything looked very effortless, very clean, very Gen Z friendly, something that feels very current to me. I know this would appeal to someone like my sister or someone who's in their teens or even in their early 20s, which is also a reason why it appeals to me, because I love feeling younger. I love keeping young, you know? So overall, I will say that I liked all of these products. Yes, the blushes were just a little bit tricky to work with. I feel like they don't really layer well with each other. Or if you have too many products underneath, such as a thick layer of foundation and then a thick layer of powder, or in my case, I had color corrector, concealer, foundation, and powder, that was just way too much product for this blush to handle. So I don't think I will ever use it that way again. However, if you go with a really light touch, kind of the way that I did here, where I didn't need as much cover up, I didn't need as much color correcting, then you honestly can't really go wrong. Eyeshadows I absolutely loved. I thought they were really easy to use. The colors felt very cool and very modern, and also just very flattering on my skin tone, but also I think they would be flattering on a lot of different skin tones. I also really like the feel of this lip gloss Balm. It looks really cute, not too much, not over the top, but definitely just feels healthy and it feels very nourishing on the lips. So overall, I'm going to give this collection a B+. I think this is a good collection. It's cohesive. Forgot to mention I do like the brush, and I think it's something that is attainable. The price isn't really too out of the box, you know? It still feels inclusive, you know? Those are my final thoughts. Those are my final 2 cents. I will definitely test out these products more, so keep watching for my Faves X Fails. Keep watching for all of my update videos when I go a little bit more in depth into some of these products that I try out. So with that said, I am going to zoom on out so that you can click on my next 2 videos, one that you may like, and also my most recent video. All right, you guys, I love you. Mwah. Peace.